Class distinction, and I know this is going to make the black socialists and the Marxists and the communists upset. I don't care. Because if you're black, you have no business being a socialist, a Marxist, or a communist, because all those are European mind products. Use your own damn mind. Talking about you a socialist and you ain't got no white folks. You don't have to have no white folks. You're using their mind product. You're using their mind product. You understand? The only solution for us is revolutionary Pan-African nationalism. Not no old dusty ass treaties, some old laws, none of that shit saving black folks. The only thing that's going to save black folks is power. Might makes right, and it's the only argument that satisfies man. Facts. You digging in the dictionary looking for some shit you going to use against white folks. You must have been smoking too much. You don't get out my face with that anti-African propaganda crap. Now, class distinction is a joke in the black community. You only have consciousness distinctions and commitment distinctions. Let me say this again. We got this thing where we say the black middle class, the black upper class. And sometimes I'll say it to only draw a comparison. I'm not speaking of practical truth. I'm speaking figuratively to make an analysis between two seemingly homogenous groups of people. Do you understand? But there's no such thing as a black middle class for real. There's no such thing as a black upper class for real. There's no such thing as class distinction in the black community. Why do you say that, Dr. Johnson? I have a doctorate degree. I live in a white suburb. I make $250,000 a year. How can you say that I'm not distinguished by class compared to a black man who dropped out of college living in the projects in the middle of North Philadelphia? You know why there's no difference? Because class is a term that speaks to your ownership of wealth. Let me say it again. Class is a term that speaks to your ownership of wealth. What is the black man's percentage of ownership of the wealth in America? Less than 1%. And what was the black man's percentage of the ownership of the wealth in America after slavery? Less than 1%. Your ass hasn't improved not even 1% in terms of the wealth you own in America. And you got the nerve to talk about that we got class distinctions. We ain't got class distinctions. We got cash distinctions. Let me say it again. We don't have class distinctions. We have cash distinctions. Okay? Break this down. See? See? Here's a 1 and a 5, right? Okay? Let me make this real simple for you. Okay? Somebody makes $5 a week. Somebody makes $1. Neither one of them owns shit. You don't own nothing. He don't own nothing. Now this one live in the suburbs with the white folks, $250,000. He got 25 degrees. This one lives in the ghetto with the poor black folks on welfare and Section 8 and public house. But guess what? What is the difference in the wealth? Zero. He don't own shit. He drives a Mercedes Benz, but he don't really have no assets. We don't have class. C-L-A-S-S. We don't have class. We have cash distinctions. We got Negroes who make a few dollars more than the other black folk. And because they make a few dollars more than the other black folk, they think they are in a different class. Hold on. Hotepper alert. Where you at? 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 I saw a hater. Let me get his little dusty ass off. I'm going to find him. He going to come out. See, I learned how to delete y'all in the process. Okay. Anyhow, are y'all following me? This is what we got. We got different levels of income. That's it. Income, not investments. Income. White folks got different levels of investments, different levels of wealth, intergenerational capital. You don't have that. We have this. Some people are low class. They bring home $1 a week. Some people are middle class. They got $5 a week. Some people are upper class. They got $10 a week. And some people are rich. Oprah, LeBron, and them, they got the 20. So you got $20 Negroes, you got $10 Negroes, you got $5 Negroes, and you got $1. Ain't nobody owning shit. We don't have class distinctions. We got consciousness and commitment distinctions, and I need y'all to understand that. The only education, slavery taught us this, the only education that you're ever going to get from the United States for your children is an education that prepares them for servitude. For servitude. If you don't want black children worshiping white folks for the rest of their life, you better create your own educational system. Facts. Okay? The purpose of education in America is to prepare our daughters for poverty and our boys for prison. Let me say it again. The purpose of education in America is to prepare our girls for poverty and our boys for prison. Do you realize 75 years ago, you did not need a college degree in order to earn a decent living? You got grandparents and I got grandparents and great-grandparents who lived decent lives without a college degree. They were what? Tradesmen and tradeswomen. They could use their hands. Tradesmen and tradeswomen. They were plumbers, carpenters, butchers, electricians, auto mechanics, masonry, bricklayers. They did not have to do what? They did not have to go to college. In 1970, they started deindustrializing the inner city. They started taking all the factories out of the inner city. Go to any inner city in America. Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, Philadelphia. What you see? Abandoned factories. Abandoned factories. Most of them have been turned into what? Jails. Look at that. The place that used to provide employment for black men now provides incarceration for black men. The place that used to provide employment for black men now provides incarceration for black men. Ain't that interesting? You're going to take a factory. You're going to take a factory and instead of use it to put black men to work, you're going to use it to put black men to jail. Facts. You didn't need no college degree to live a decent life. In fact, you could even live a decent life without a high school diploma. People would leave school and work and live well, black and white. But in the 1970s, they decided on a plan of extermination based on mass incarceration to destabilize the black family, to take the father out the house, leave the mothers with the boys, homosexualize and effeminize the black boys in the process, deindustrialize the hood, deindustrialize the high school. They went into the high school and took out all the programs. They took out the auto, they took out the chef, they took out the plumbing, they took out the carpentry, they took out the electrician, they took out the brickwork, they took it all out. They took it all out and start telling all black folks, you got to go to college if you want to make something out of yourself. My grandfather didn't have to go to college to make something out of himself. My great grandmom didn't have to go to college to make something out of herself. And guess what? They lived better and made more money in their lifetime using their hands than you make with 3 degrees. They made more. They lived a better life using their hands 80 years ago than you live now with all your master's degrees. Facts. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. So what are you saying, Dr. Johnson? Black kids shouldn't go to college? I'm not saying that. I'm saying they do have to fulfill one criteria if they're going to go to college. When it's time for my 2 babies to go to college, my 2 daughters, and hopefully God blesses me with a son soon and a wife. But listen, when it's time for my daughters to go to college, I got one question. One question. Before I put this money out here, princess, before I put my money, are you committed to being the best? That's all I want to know. Are you committed to being the best teacher? Are you committed to being the best social worker? Are you committed to being the best pharmacist? Are you committed to being the best engineer? Are you committed to being the best author? Are you committed to being the best psychologist? Why do I need them to be committed to being the best before I write any check to any university? Because there is no room in America for second place. Facts. If you sending your children to college to become second place, you're wasting your money. There is no room for second. You are the best or you are nothing. Facts. And that's what's wrong with our kids. We send them all to college and they get these degrees, but they're not expert. They didn't master the information. They're not the best. Be the best. Or keep your money in your pocket. Facts.